You need no notes, no note cards. You can speak on anything for hours. You're better than a candidate, because I was managing the state assembly race. He said, if you move over here, he said, I guarantee it. He said, whatever millions, I don't remember, but he said, you can win that seat. And I said to him, I said, I'm really flattered by that. I said, but I'm just not interested. He said, what the hell do you mean you're not interested? Everybody knows you're working your way to Washington. I said, yeah, but on my terms. He said, what are your terms? I said, my terms are, until I create enough wealth so no man owns me, I'll never set foot in that beltway, because I'm gonna pull the curtain back. They're gonna run my ass out of this so fast. I need to have something worthy to go back to. Because once you get inside that beltway, you're treated like a rock star. You have a staff, you have to go to the best Georgetown restaurants every single night. You're forking over the people. You will not give that up for anything. I don't care how principled you are. These people will not give that up for anything. That's why I call them scumbags. They're supposed to help and serve you, and they don't. They know what they're doing. So he thought that was an honorable response, and then I realized 911 was an inside job, completely out of those things, sitting the sidelines until one day I see this guy come down the escalator.
Not that I don't
know. Stop, looked at it. Yeah, exactly. That guy is the original producer. The original producer. I saw him making a speech, and in 5 minutes I'm just mesmerized. I was like, holy shit, I grabbed my phone, I started texting people around the country. Whatever you're doing, stop right now, because you're going to see a Republican candidate and a landslide president. I went to Facebook. I started being vocal again after 9 years on the sidelines. I got pounded for 18 months by my Republican friends, mind you, because they like Ted Cruz. And I explained to them, you don't want to listen. This is why this guy automatically wins. And here's why these other people can't. They finally came around, of course he wins, and I rescinded. I'm not a guy that gloats, I just disappear again. He gets Sandy's off the charts, and I'm thinking, these people, I don't want to be around this energy, and this is a mistake. I don't want to be around this energy, and then they deployed their weapons of Antifa and BLM. And I sat and watched this bullshit. Cities burning down, scumbag, criminal, cabal-controlled mayors and DAs facilitating this bullshit, and I just kept watching, when is it going to turn, what are they going to do? And one day I blew a gasket, and I was like, fork this. I said, fuck this. I'm going to get back in. I don't know how. I'm going to call my friend John Bolenbaugh, Big Oil Whistleblower, Revolution Radio, talk to those people. Do they want any shows, whatever? I had a conversation with some people overseas, did an hour interview, and they're like, you can do whatever you want, name it what you want. You got free latitude. Don't say fork, they said. The other thing. So I started this show. It's going to be on human consciousness, spiritual ascension. The first day, it turned on into this high-octane, full-throttle truth hammer called the Bush's forking scumbag, drug traffickers, child traffickers, gun runners, scumbags, and I figured out they're scumbags. And it never stopped. And I tried the next week to bring it back into human consciousness, spiritual ascension. Next week, boom! I got a sick thing in my stomach. I'm like, shit, they're going to throw me off Revolution Radio. I asked the guys, I said, no, you're doing great. You're kicking ass. All the hosts watch you. And I'm like, but my mom wouldn't like to hear me like this. So I do another show. And I'm like, I got it set up. I did everything I was talking about your quantum physics, which is my passion. And here we go. And boom, I'm calling somebody a forking scumbag. And it's just 2 hours every week. 2 hours every week, right? Every week. Yeah, I have so much fucking material. There's so many scumbags in DC, in the state legislature, in cities, and it's freaking everywhere. It's brilliant, it's everywhere. They're everywhere. What a target-rich environment. So then I do a live stream to calm people down 1 week after the election. I had my life. I put a video up. I take a a radio show, I'd put a rolling narrative off of Google, like, who's this scumbag? George Bush. Go find George Bush as a Satanist, pull that picture down, makes him look bad, he's got horns. And I just did that, and 12 hours I created a video of these attack goofy shit, like, so people laugh at them, look, they're scumbag idiots. So I was getting like 1,000 views on that YouTube channel, just uploading. This video, the nuclear video, here's what's going on, folks. Calm down. It's a military operation. Patriots in control. 344,000 views in like 12 days. And here's YouTube. Targeted. Boom. McKay, get him. Down. And it starts. And I'm like, you took it down? Fork you. Boom.
Yeah.
Another channel. Right? What do? Build it back up to 138,000 in like 10 days. I don't know these numbers. I know they're ridiculous, but I don't follow YouTube. I had no idea. So what do? They take it down. I'm like, what? Fork you. Here's Patriot Street Fighter 3. We're at Patriot Street Fighter 15 right now.
Yeah.
So, I always have backup channels, and this is what pisses them off. I taught my army.
Yeah.
I taught my army, look, these ice holes are coming again. Here's Patriot Street Fighter 4. Start subscribing, get ready, right?
Yeah.
So we would get that up to like 40,000 subscribers, not one single video. No content. I wanted to get 100,000 subscribers on a channel, and as sometimes you see me flip out on Susan Wojcicki, CEO, and I'll pull her out in front of the camera and go, Susan Wojcicki, 100,000 on this channel, fork you. I didn't get to 100, but I did it at 40. And I know I'm asking to be thrown off because I taunt them. I tell them, I call her out by name. Why? Why do I call them scumbags?
They are.
They are because they are, right?
Yeah.
And that's on a Sunday. That's a nice word for a scumbag. Because I want you people to understand that the reverence we have for the criminal political class in this country at all levels, these people are working against the best for humanity. Every one of them. Why? If they go into anywhere in this political structure and they're not hated, if they're not a disruptor, we already know this country is it's on a glide path to take us to the bottom. We know that. Now, all these years that these people say, vote for me. Tea Party was 2010, we took back the House, or was it 12, I forget which. I don't give a shit anymore about these people or those events. But so here they are. I'm drawing the line right here. I won't back up on the budget bill that comes up. First vote is what happens with these Tea Party Republicans. It's like 83 of them. An amazing turnaround. I thought the 94 revolution, when we took the House, Republicans took the House for the first time in like 70 years. 52 seats in the House, 12 in the Senate. Blew me away. They blew this away, the Republicans, in 2010 when that happened. I never saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. All these Tea Party Republicans, vote for me, I'm not gonna back up, I'm for the people, no more budget busting spending. The very first vote that these bastards voted on when they were sworn in the House was that budget, and out of 83, 67 of these scumbags voted for that budget busting bill. And I said, it's over. It is over. We're done. So what happens? I heard people telling me, calling me up saying, we're gonna send a postcard to our new House member, let them know that we don't like it. I said, fork that. Send them a card that says, enjoy your next 2 years, because your ass is gone, we're recruiting somebody else. See, if these people don't do what they tell you when they do, one time, get them out. Get them the hell out, because you're gonna repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. And it's not going to stop. They're going to keep sticking you in the liver with a knife or a screwdriver, whatever they can grab, whenever they have the chance. Because any of these people that are going into, I think there should be right now, I'm going to be called an ice hole by a lot of politicians, right? I'm not worried about making enemies anymore. I don't really care if they like me or not. But, and believe me, they're going to be enemies. There's a couple right here in Las Vegas that live here, and they're not here today. They've asked to come on my show. They want me to do this, this, and this. And I don't see them in the House. I don't see them in the House. Okay, I said before, Patriot Street Fighter is a smoke out operation. We're gonna find out who's who. We're gonna find out who's playing for humanity, who's not. You want to call my radio show and you want the Patriot Street Fighter to recruit his army to come out and support you, and you won't come here and support the Patriot Street Fighter? What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
What do you think? You think this is a game? You think I gotta travel around with these 3 trained killers that cost a fortune because it's a great time? You think I'm coming out into the open and taunting these scumbags to try to get me? Because if they're gonna get me, they're gonna get me. I can't do anything about that. If that's supposed to be that way in my universe, then that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about that. I don't have that fear. Sasha explained it. You don't have that fear because there is a temporal bubble. Those who are here to turn this ship around, get it going in our direction, we are not afraid. We are not afraid. We're not afraid. Obviously, you're not afraid either. I said this before. That's right. Hell no.
God's with us.
Right. Exactly. That's the point. God's with us. This is a spiritual battle. It's not political, not economic. It's not even philosophical, although we believe it is to a degree. This is a spiritual battle. God's not going to hand this over to Satan as long as you continue to stand up and fight. You have to be in the fight, folks. You got to be in the fight. And somebody said, what do I do to get in a fight? What you do to get in a fight is anything.
Yeah.
When you come to a fork in the road, what do? You take it. You take it. Left or right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Move. Go to a school board meeting. Had a lady in North Platte said, yeah, she said, Scott, real shy. She said, I just want you to, and I get this from everybody, hundreds, thousands of emails. I'm a Patriot Street Fighter and I'm in the fight. That to me is the most heartwarming thing. That's why I stay up till 2 and 3 reading all these letters and cards. I'm exhausted. My eyes are. My heart isn't. My brain isn't. My body isn't, but my eyes are always exhausted. But I stay up because I have to read this stuff. I have to, it feeds my soul. Because I'm telling you, this war of influence, we're winning it. Yeah. I see it every day. It's incredible. All over the world. I'm from Croatia, I'm a Patriot Street Fighter. I'm from Slovakia, I'm a Patriot Street Fighter. I'm from New Zealand, I'm a Patriot Street Fighter. I'm from China, I'm a Patriot Street Fighter. I'm from Australia, Canada, I go to 40 countries I can show you. But you know why? Because I'm telling them, here's what we're gonna do. Hang on, folks over there, the cavalry's coming. We're gonna kick the shit out of the scumbag class here. We're gonna bury them, put them in a box on the ground. We're gonna put our people into it in service. Then we're going to come for you. Hold the line. Just hold the line. We are going to come for you. And you know what? It just takes the effort. She says, I'm a Patriot Street Fighter, Scott, and I just want to tell you I'm in the fight. I went to a school board meeting. I didn't say anything, but I went. And I was like, I said, are you shitting me? I put my hand up. She goes like this, did a high five. I think I dislocated her shoulder. And she was fired up. She was like, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Before she said that, she said, I'm gonna go to the next one and I'm taking a friend, my friend's coming. That's when I said it. And I said, that's getting in the fight. And I said, that's what the fight is. Why? Because she's gonna go to another school board meeting and then another and another. She's gonna listen to this bullshit from these knuckleheads that don't do anything in a community prior to, because if they did, they'd have life experience, business experience, they'd have something philosophical to offer the world, and they would be doing things to help the school system and the kids, but they never do. Listen to enough of this bullshit, even this meek, mild-mannered girl, lady would say, you know what? I've been listening to this for the last, 4 months, and whatever she says, and when she says it, there's gonna be 5 or 8 people who say, yeah, hell yeah, what she said. What happens? The energy starts, right? The energy starts. Then you have Vail, Arizona, where eventually it's hundreds of people show up. People that are pissed off about this mask bullshit, they overrun them. They don't have to touch them. This energy, this force that's coming at them, it's banging at them, it's everybody's energy. They're pissed off. And what do these people do? What do they always do? They run, they're cowards. They didn't just run, these scumbags said, I resign, I'm out of here, and they ran home. What are these people? See, my leg doesn't move very well, so I can't.
Milk toast pussy.
If I run, you'll say, what the hell, you had a stroke, or what the hell happened to him? That's why these guys say, hey, when we tell you to move, you need to move. I'm like, trust me, we're not moving fast, bro. You're gonna drag my ass. But these people cave in. And here's the thing, Antifa, BLM. You know when I went after them and I saw these people, okay, I'm being kind, these people, black hoods, they've got their backpacks, they got their skateboard as a weapon, right? And I'm looking at the size of them. Now look, I was the ultimate 98-pound weakling. I can say these things. I was that guy when I was a kid. But I look at these skinny, meek little POSs and I'm like, look at these guys. And it's one of those nights, camera, or as on the radio, it's like, look at these people. These are freaking milquetoast pussies wearing their sisters' So now I get these emails, somebody wants to tell me something or say, you know, Scott, I had a lady said, Scott, I want to tell you something, but I don't want you to think I'm an MTP. I'm like, what the hell's an MTP? I was like, oh, milquetoast pussy. But that's, and you say, you know, now, in the past, when I was fighting this battle, here's how it is. You know, the economic policies that are coming out of Washington, D.C. are creating undue weight on the middle class of America, and it's really slowing their upward trajectory in life on many fronts, right? That's political bullshit, right? That's what it is. Now I just say, that's forking bullshit, and you're an idiot. Who's going to believe that?
Yeah.
And these people will say this shit over and over and over, and what do? We're going to go ahead and pull a vote because they're Republican. If you're a Democrat, well, these people will vote for the ass end of a rhino that's put on the road for 3 days dead. If there's a D on the thing. That's what they do. So here's what we do. If it's a Republican, good enough. That's our problem. If it's a Republican, good enough. It isn't good enough. They forked us for generations. It was the Bush machine that took all of our industry to China to shift the axis of power to China to get the adrenochrome machine in China, roll it to the speed that it is today, that now is sucking our kids right up in a massive vortex. Republicans, they're liars. GOP, right? I'm going to tell you flat out, do not give the Republican National Committee money until they prove to you they're using it well. Find a candidate like Matt Taylor and start talking in his campaign. Find candidates who will fight. Find scrappy people like this guy. In fact, when I heard Joey, I probably went up on stage, and I can't believe I didn't trip, fall, hugging on his shoes, kissing him. He's going to run for governor. That's the kind of badass we need politics. So all I can say to Governor Sisolak, well, you this milquetoast pussy, you just walked into the crosshairs of the Patriot Street Fighter. These are the guys, people like Mac and Joey Gilbert, these are the guys you want to send into that lion's den. I don't want to lose them from the legal profession. I don't want to lose them. I heard him in Tulsa. I was outside the whole weekend. I was with the people. I saw 2 people speak, and that was, I heard 4, I saw 2. I saw Lynn Wood, and I saw Mike Adams.
Yeah.
That's it. The 2 that I heard that were laying down the rods of God were the female Patriot Street Fighter, Lee Dundas. I never know, who the hell is that? Then I heard Joey, then I met him backstage, and here's what he's saying. I know we're in Vegas, so I can get off the Patriot Street Fighter language. He goes, we're in a church. These motherfuckers, and he's like,
Yeah.
back, and I was like, holy shit. I mean, we're in a church. He goes, he's fuck this and this, and Storms was like, shit, man, I'm in love with this guy. I just kept pumping gas on him, keep talking, and he's like, boom, boom, boom. So now when I hear him, I'm like, these sorry bastards when he announces.
Yeah.
Imagine what's going to happen
Yeah,
with all
fuck.
of us when we start pumping the Patriot Street Fighter Army into this messaging system. We're going to crush this guy. We're going to crush this guy. So anyways, I'm going to make these long so you can say hello to you guys before we take off, but I will tell you this. Even though the landscape and the terrain looks like sometimes it can't be navigated or easily, all I can tell you is this. And the experience that has come through my life, anything that's happened that in my life should not have happened, anything good or any little league home runs we've hit, things like that in life, they should not have happened. I should be on a stage today. I was in a grave nearly, I was cashing out one day, laying face down on a road. I let a Harley Davidson slammed it into the side of a van at 50 miles an hour while I laid it down to try to slow the impact. It blew me apart. That frame and the engine hit first, and everything kept going. Destroyed the van, bent it in half, destroyed my bike. Everything's destroyed, including me. So when I had that moment when I was cashing out on that stage, on that road, looking over the red fence, and recognizing that I'm not breathing, so some weird stuff's going on, I realized it, and now I know this is it. I'm gonna die. And it was a great experience because I rectified that. I reconciled that this is how it's gonna go. You're gonna stop breathing. I'm not breathing, so in about 40 seconds, you're gonna pass out, and everything is okay. Everything is A-okay. Laid my head down on the road, and then you fade to black, right? And what is that like? You just feel this strangeness over your body. The next thing I heard this horrible sound. And I describe it as if it sounded like somebody was stabbing a walrus to death, whatever that might sound like. It was horrible, right? And so, and my consciousness was like, and it's kind of interesting, your brain goes 1 billion miles an hour. And there was some humor in it with me, because I'm like, thinking, what the hell is that? Where's the white light? What the hell's that noise? Well, I guess my lungs were banging, trying to kick on again. They did it, I guess, just at the last second or whatever, and they kicked on. And so now, as my body's fighting and my back is arching up, I'm flat on the road, I can't move. My body was bent in grotesque ways that the body can't go, as I was told. That's why my neighbor knew, she saw it, she said, I knew that guy, whoever it was in leathers, didn't know it was me. I knew he was dead. He was face down, and his body was bent in directions the body just can't go. So I come back in, and I fade back in, like, and then I'm trying to take time to regain that conscious thought, and then it was humorous. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still alive. I'm like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. I was like set up, I was ready, I was good. What? And that's the humorous thing I remember about that. Anyways, chaos ensued. This is how our Creator works. Right where I crashed, the top professor, Columbia University Medical School on staff, he's home. That comes out. I hear this chaos. I'm conscious. I never hit my head, so I'm bleeding out. My foot was nearly fully severed. This was the ankle bone split in two, shot out the back of my foot. Lucky my boot was on, it stayed in. Nearly fully, my foot rotated this way. This part nearly severed my whole foot. I broke my femur in 7 pieces. My pelvis was blown off my spine. That's why I got big screws going in to hold it there. I had an open book fracture that the doctors told my former wife that I could give birth to a 30-pound baby. I wanted to think, what does that feel like a 12 or 10-pound baby? And I'm like, because I only know 30 pounds. It sucks. So I have So all this massive damage, internal, every single thing in my body, all the soft tissue, organs, everything, 50 miles an hour to 0, right? And so even my voice box was damaged greatly because I talked like this for the first 4 months. Sweetheart, could you get me a cup of water? It was the funniest thing. Yeah, I was like, that kind of sound like a milk-toast pussy. So, anyways, I'm gonna fast forward so we can end this, but there's a message that I want you to understand and how I know we win. Because we say we are. So when I'm laying in this trauma center and now I'm in a rehab hospital, I'm completely destroyed. I go from being a lifelong, all my adult life, I've been a high performance athlete. I'm destroyed completely. I'm in this shell, I'm in this wreckage, I'm trapped, I can't get out. First 48 hours, I watched the second hand on the clock after 11 days I was in a coma. They had to put all this metal, butcher me, do all this stuff. I wake up, when I finally am conscious, I see all of this, you know, and hoses, wires coming out all over the place. I always look like a cyborg. And you're in there, you can't get out, and the pain is the most horrific thing you could imagine. As soon as they would walk in the door, at some point, I would know what was going to happen because I could watch my blood pressure. My resting heart rate was 125 beats a minute. It would go to 200. My blood pressure would go sky high because I knew they were coming in with these wedges. They were going to turn me. And when they were turning him, I was like this creaky picnic table, an old picnic table, and all the butchering they did on me and everything else. And when they would do it, they knew I was going to cry. Because when they would turn me over, I would grab this handle I'd have them give me a 3 count. 1, 2, 3, and they would turn me, and I'd grab this bar and I'd hold myself. I always took this hand and I always put it on the ass of whatever nurse was right there. And they never said a word. And I think once, I'm not sure, I think once in all that pain, I kind of went like this. And I don't really remember. But I remember once this beautiful redheaded nurse, her name was Christy, and another one, were leaning over doing these things, and they were both there, and they were just, I'm crying like a little baby, crying, please hurry, please hurry. And I would watch tears drip off of their eyes right onto my sheet because they felt so bad because they saw this big man who was once strong and powerful, was probably 225 pounds. I come out of the rehab hospital at 165 pounds. And so I remember these things. And when this is building up in you, you're thinking it truly is over. But there was one point when my former wife was starting to talk about, oh no, what are we gonna do, our future, whatever. She was high-powered fashion designer. She had her whole life continued on. But she's asking me this question. At this point in time, I'm thinking, are you kidding me, like now? But I just remember looking at her, and I'd known her for decades. I was only married for a year, but I looked over at her, and I said, and it's when it hit me, I looked at her, I said, look, you know me. You've known me a long time. I don't know how. I do know how bad this is, which I really did. I didn't know about the paralysis and all that. I said, I don't know how, but I'm going to turn this into an asset. I don't know how, but I'm going to turn it into an asset. It didn't matter. I wouldn't allow. I was listening, but I didn't hear them. They could tell me 95% of the people in the world with gravity and these injuries, here's how it's going to be. You need to get in psychological counseling. You need to prepare for this. I'm like, psychological counseling? Half of you people are divorced. Marriage counselors, are you kidding me? Not only that, I've been studying quantum physics for 15 years. I'm like, I know how this conscious realm works. I'm going to apply that. I'm going to fight every day. Whatever the pain is, have to ratchet it up times 10. Go to Warren at gym. Year after year, on a bike, this leg's just riding, it was a hitchhiker. I don't care. I can feel it. It's just a hitchhiker. 18 months into it, it's a hitchhiker. One day I was like, holy cow, I feel burning. Wait a minute, now I'm just imagining. Kept doing it. In the gym, doing all these exercises, I have to use one leg, but I would hold myself, do deep knee bends, holding on to stuff. All on one leg, I'm like, now I can feel it. And then one day I felt a burn. And I just stayed after it, year after year after year. Every single day, I was on disability. I was nearly starving, got 192, or I wasn't on disability, so I was nearly starving. I got an EBT card to keep feeding myself. A friend took me in, and every day it was a war, every day. Because I was gonna show people, it's not the body. It is the heart, it is the mind, it is human consciousness. If you can understand the quantum realm, you can do amazing things. And then when you understand that everything comes from conscious thought, we decide, not the circumstances, not a physical body, not a criminal power structure, not this scumbag class. We decide, we collectively think we're taking the world back, we're going to make the world a place to be the new age, the dominant age here. That's what we're going to bring in. That's what the Country Street Fighter movement is all about. That's why I am able to stand on the stage with people like these amazing, powerful minds and voices. And I'm totally honored by you. Thanks for being here, guys.
Much love, Las Vegas! Friends, can you move the stage, please? We want to take some photographs. Thank you.
What do you say?
We the people come together. Everybody come up. We also want you to follow us to Golden Valley.
I already put my name on it. I already filled mine.
5 o'clock today.
The first one,
Golden
right?
Valley.
So we're all facing that way.
Where is mine?
Debbie, are you in position? Okay, just go to the center. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, just push the chairs out of the way a little bit over there and come stand right in front of the stage right here.